name's Erin. When I was 17, I opted for an adoption of my son. And I chose adoption because, well, I was 16 and going on 17, and I didn't feel like I was mature enough to raise a baby. So I chose adoption, and his father as well gave me a really hard time. So I just felt like it was less stressful and better for the baby. And the things I like about open adoption are I get to see my son. I've never really missed anything in his life. I know everything about him. He's seen and held my daughter Averly that I have now, who's almost 2. It's wonderful. I mean, I get to watch him grow up, and I wouldn't know what it was like. I mean, I couldn't handle not knowing what he was doing in life, so I love open adoption. Thing I don't like about it is, sometimes I miss him, sometimes I wish I had him in my life, but I would never take the life that he has away from him, because he is one lucky kid. And so I guess now we're gonna ask me some questions. Go ahead, Mom.
What are you able to do in an open adoption that you couldn't if it was closed?
If it were a closed adoption, I would not know where he was. I would not have any way of contacting him. It would just be like he was somewhere out there and I could never find him. And with an open adoption, as long as the parents are okay, I'm able to receive pictures, call him, email him, video chat with him. I'm able to do everything, visit him, and what's lucky about mine is my son's parents are completely want me to be involved in his life, and the rest of my family as well. My grandmother in California, she actually is better about it than I am about being in his life, sending him presents and cards and everything. And so, yeah.
How did you find an adoption agency?
When I was pregnant, I went through the Tri-County Health Center and got set up with people who sat me down, told me what my options were as far as keeping the baby, adoption, abortion, and I chose adoption that day, and they referred me to a agency.
Why did you choose your adoption agency over another?
I only was given a couple, and the first one I called, I set up an interview with, and they just made it really easy, and they were really good to me. So I pretty much chose the first one I spoke with.
What were the procedures you had to do to begin and complete this process?
I had to first of all find a family, and since his father I knew who his father was, he was involved in it too, and that's by law. He has to agree to the adoption. It's not just, my decision, it's his decision too. So we both had to agree on a family. We were both given folders with different families and, with their history and pictures of their families, and me and him both actually chose the same family, the first pick. So we knew when we saw him, and I wanted somebody who had another child, so that way my son didn't grow up alone. And so yeah, it was really easy to pick. They're a great family, and I have no regrets about it.
What were all of your options explained to you?
Yes, all my options were explained to me. I was told about abortion, I was told about adoption, I was told about even keeping him. At that time, adoption was the best choice for me.
Did you participate in the choice of who would adopt your son?
Oh yes, me and his father both picked the same family, met with them. I actually met with them only a couple weeks before I went into labor, so they knew they were getting a son, I think, 4 weeks before he came into their lives. And it was, love at first sight.
Did the process go like it was explained and how you expected?
Yes, and plus some. I think they went above the expectations. They were very, very awesome with me. They were the best adoption agency. I mean, I've never dealt with any others, but they definitely went above and beyond to make me feel comfortable in my choice.
Can you tell us a little about the process, how you felt about it, and what happened, and how it is now?
The process, well, you pretty much pick a family, you meet with the family. They, I know that as long as you have chosen your family, then it's pretty much a done deal. And then once you have the baby, you have up to 2 weeks to change your mind, or to make your definite choice. And in that time, you can either keep that baby or you could put it into the care of their family, which I chose to give my son to his family. The day that he was born, they took him the 2 days after he was born, they took him from the hospital. So they've had him since that day. And the judge that I had, actually, we heard rumors that he was really hard on young girls who chose this route, and he was actually really, really calm with me and made it very easy for me, and didn't give me a hard time, didn't make me feel judged or anything. And I'm not exactly sure how it is now. I mean, I know girls that opt for adoption, but usually they change their minds once it comes down to it. I've known girls to even give their babies up and go back and get them, and I think it's you have to be really sure this is what you want to do. And so yeah, what's the next one?
What advice would you give to someone who is facing what you have gone through?
Make sure it's really what you want to do. It's how heartbreaking would it be to give a baby away, then take him back and hurt that family, and just make sure it's really what you want to do. It's not a thing you take lightly, and it's very serious. You're giving someone a life, and giving someone a chance to be parents when they couldn't be on their own. So just make sure it's what you want to do.
If you were going through this right now, would you have still chosen open adoption?
If I were 16 again and going through this, yeah, I would choose open adoption again. If I were my age right now, no, I wouldn't do adoption again. I'm mature enough now to know what to do to be a parent. I have a 2-year-old, and I wouldn't choose adoption at my age now. But if I were 16 again, definitely. I feel like it's a very mature responsibility to take care of a child, and a child should not take care of a child. So I would choose it again. And I guess that ends the interview. There you go, Jill. I hope this is everything you wanted. Sorry I rushed through it. I don't like being on video. Love you.